Hey, my name is Jamie Harding. I am back on the cam because I wanted to talk to you guys and give you an update as to what's been going on with Sergeant First Class Demetrius Busby, the rapist that is currently incarcerated in Gulfport Correctional Institution outside Sarasota, Florida. I've kind of fallen out of the spotlight, and I'll explain to you why that happened as well. I know I had told many of you that National Geographic had two of their photographers who were doing a side project. As far as I know, that's fallen through. I've not seen anything more about that. I've not been published since I was in Newsweek, and that was April 3rd of last year. I have done a few radio interviews, kind of keeping a low profile. I've had some not so great experiences with my local Veterans Administration. I also had a friend who was a ranger with the 82nd Airborne who passed away about a week before Memorial Day, so I've been dealing with that. I also recently moved. I'm currently without transportation, and I don't know, things have fluctuated quite a bit. So I have gotten many requests from several of you asking me to update and give you some foresight as to recent developments and anything to keep your eyes open for. So let me start by saying thank you for kicking me in the ass and getting me to actually do another video. I know it's not Lady Gaga or anything, and I wasn't expecting 1 billion hits, but I sort of was hoping for, 10 or 20,000, I thought would be a reasonable number over the 2 years it's been up, and I only have 5,000 on the one, so I don't know how much good these are actually doing, or if I'm just wasting my time, but it seems that the individuals that are benefiting from it and are writing to say thank you and, saying I'm brave, which I would disagree with, I just want to let you guys know, and women included, that I've been to one of the intensive post-traumatic stress programs that the VA offers as a treatment option for military sexual trauma. I was told by my MST coordinator, Sue Gorman, at the Wilkes-Barre VA, that I was actually ineligible for the program and that they should have never sent me, and let alone paid for it. And because I was kicked out of the program halfway through due to personality conflicts and hostilities and temper flare-ups and things of that nature, lack of concentration, they kicked me out and gave me like a day or two's notice, and I had to pay for everything. Luckily it happened on the 1st of the month, and I had to spend my Social Security check on securing an airfare and doing everything through my iPhone. And calling ahead, I was in a wheelchair, I still had 2 broken feet, I had a cam boot on the one, I wasn't supposed to stand on it. It was actually, my take on the whole thing was this. Several of the personnel there told me that they'd never seen another MST or PTSD survivor quite like me, which was not a surprise. They also told me that, although I'm sure they'll deny this in an official statement or on film, they also told me that I was higher functioning in the capacity that I could speak well, that I was groomed decently, that I didn't have hygiene problems, that I was pretty well sociable with my fellow soldiers. And some of that's true, some of it's not. There's bits and pieces that are taken out of context, and that's stuff I'd like to delve into a little more deeply. What I'm going to do is, I'm now on MSN, and I can do live cam with people, and I can do interviews, and I have a ton of documentation. And what I'm doing is I'm in the process of scanning that now. It was supposed to be a 2-month inpatient program at Topeka, Kansas. There are several of these programs across the United States, and they are coming up with more as the need arises. They're starting to be very fearful about the mass quantity of groups that are returning from Iraq and Afghanistan who are suffering with these problems and require VA care and treatment, and have been in long enough to know that the VA is liable for their treatment and care. Now, when I was thrown out, I didn't realize that had I gone and registered within, I think it's 180 days, that I would have qualified for medical care outside of the PTSD and the MST stuff. And that is a real sticking point for the Veterans Administration and the Department of Defense. And to be perfectly honest, I think that's one of the key issues that the President's Cabinet and that Congress and the Senate need to not only be aware of, but make proper accommodations for. These people just have no clue what they're doing. They really don't. I'm an objective person, but I'm also a very perceptive person. And from day one, arriving on this campus out at the sprawling VA in Topeka, Kansas, it was very clear to me that, yeah, they might have given me 17 different folders in the course of 4 weeks about potential ways on how to handle this, how to restructure your thought process, how to control bodily reactions to stressors and triggers, you know, better communication with your family, with your mates, with your coworkers, with society in general, with authority figures, meditation, you know, essentially quiet time, the religious aspect of turning to your church, or there's actually a group out there that I found to be very helpful. Unfortunately, I went one time, had a hard time gaining access to their house because of the wheelchair, and hurt a few of my fellow soldiers in them trying to get me into their house for dinner. And thus I didn't go back, and by that point I'd been out of the program. So hopefully these videos are going to assist with that, and they're going to let you know that there is progress being made, even though it's very densely concentrated on women. And having been a part of the Invisible War, and having been a part of the federal lawsuit in Eastern Virginia with Susan Burke, and having been interviewed by the New York Times for 4 hours on my way home from Congresswoman Spears' press conference and luncheon, and all of these things that were supposed to come to fruition, I've sort of been ostracized by my own community because we don't see eye to eye on what is the most effective methods of dealing with the government and making progress and getting help for as many veterans and soldiers that need it as humanly possible and can be reasonably accommodated by the system as it is, until the improvement phases can be worked in. And as a result, I'm being shunned by quite a few of the groups that I previously belonged to. And I'll get more into that in the next video. So, once again, I'm Jamie. Military sexual trauma was the topic. Sergeant First Class Demetrius Busby, Sarasota, Florida. He's the drill sergeant that raped me and then went on to rape junior ROTC students. And I'm the male poster child for MST.